What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Monday, January 9th, 2023. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Truly appreciate you all very much. Hope you had a great weekend and are ready to kick off this week with this moon day. We're going to see this moon here in Leo. It's going to come into that third decan, but it is going to start off the day with a square over to Uranus and Taurus. And then, coming into the evening, we're going to start to see that opposition to Saturn now at 23 degrees of Aquarius. So we're definitely, trying to find a balance here between dedication, between our personal lives, knowing that it's important to feel because feeling can bring so much happiness, but also knowing that there is, places in life where we have to sort of disconnect from the emotion or, just take a more intelligent approach, whether it's emotionally or within just different ways of aspecting, maybe personal freedoms to, dedication for something that is going to build into the future here. It is still Capricorn season, of course. That moon will also quincunx the sun at 19 degrees of Capricorn. So it is one of those days where it's interesting. I can feel like we would not want to, there could be a case of the Mondays in a way. Like, I want to have fun and I want to keep playing and I don't really want to go to work. But knowing that the work is important right now, and that especially if there is an excitement and a happiness to that, then I feel like we're in a, there's definitely a win-win there. But it's one of those days with the moon opposed Saturn where we kind of just have to, and in Capricorn season, of course, it is just one of those days where we do have to kind of suck it up and get through the day. We might not get a full expression of exactly what we want to be doing with our time, but maybe we do. But also knowing that the time that you put into today, especially if it is based around an emotional maturity, and that you are doing the things necessary to further your life and to get things moving in a positive area, then very, very good there. Even when we can wake up and things can kind of go a little, things can be a little haywire with Uranus and Taurus, and the moon squaring that. It's just having us really, it's definitely always trying to elevate us, to bring us to more happiness, more value, and I think more confidence too. And knowing that even if we have to show up and do something that maybe isn't exactly just like taking another day off or extending the weekend, that it does hold a lot of purpose and can bring a lot of satisfaction in our lives as well. Mercury retrograde is going to come to 13 degrees of Capricorn, and it's starting to square over to Chiron. Very, this Mercury retrograde. Of course, we had the Cazimi over the weekend. It was in opposition to the full moon. It did trine Uranus, which I think definitely brought a lot of insightful things and understanding. And then now it's all this, like, we're in this next day and a half where this square over to Chiron and Aries can definitely leave us feeling like, well, did the download even matter? I can't do it. Or to lower our, identification of ourself and kind of just feeling very suppressed, especially mentally. So we don't want to suppress ourselves mentally or think that we're less than, or, get all down. It's not a good day to be a negative Nancy. I feel like we can want to be a negative Nancy and just kind of look at things as like, we gotta have some mental, toughness, and the mental toughness will show us that no, we're good. Things are about to be a rocket ship here very soon. We just have to get through this. Mercury's about to finish up here by the 17th, and Mars, of course, 8 degrees of Gemini, is going to station in just 3 days. So yeah, Mars is stopped here. It's not easy, and it's in Gemini, and that's, I think, also bringing a lot to our mind that's making us feel stuck. It's making us feel like we can't progress forward, or that we'll never get the environment right, or get the message out, or the message that we need to get. And the square to Chiron with Mercury is not, it's not doing us any favors. And of course, Saturn opposed Moon is not a fun one either. So we have to, dig deep. I feel like this Monday is kind of a grind. It's like we got to dig, we got to grind it out. And Venus here is coming to 8 degrees of Aquarius, and it's going to start to square these nodes now at 10 degrees of Scorpio and Taurus, North Node in Taurus, of course, where Venus is the dispositor, and we're starting to see that square. So definitely in this big sort of faded cycle of our relationship to self, relationship to others, definitely a big focal point with Venus being in Aquarius, non-attachment. We definitely have to be non-attached to a lot of different outcomes, be open to possibilities. as Venus is going to square these nodes and then square Uranus and Taurus, right? And then come to Saturn. So definitely a big point where we can start to see where we are way too overly romanticized or fantasized about some particular outcome. And the more that we can just stay in our sense of value, feeling good and strong, even though it might not look the way we want it to, or we're having to show up in ways that we maybe don't want to, but we know it's the right thing to do for ourselves, there will be a payoff. This can also, kind of force us to, kind of liberate ourselves in some ways if we are attached to some sort of, could be person, could be, something that we're doing monetarily, that we're not seeing the value in that situation anymore. We could definitely be like, oh yeah, this isn't gonna work out long term here, or this has no future relevance. So definitely a big moment these next 2 days, today and especially tomorrow, where pay attention to the Venus, the Venusian qualities in your life, relationships, value, monetary stuff. Could see some weird monetary stuff go on in the world. Just when you think everything's, looking good, things can take a really interesting turn right now. And that's where we can also trip ourselves out mentally, I think, with Chiron starting to make that square with Mercury retrograde in Capricorn. We have to value the unpredictable too. I think that's another thing, is like we have to see the value in not knowing, but going through experience and seeing where that tunnel leads us, and what kind of timeline takes place when we have the right responsible reactions from a mature place. And I think that that's a big time, is to find the courage and to know that your maturity will shine through if you're reacting in a positive way, and definitely not taking things too personal. I feel like we can want to feel like something's out to get us today, and that's not the case. There's just a revolutionization of many things in our life, from the way we think and feel about ourselves, to the way we relate to others, and to the way we maybe spend our money, to the way that we accumulate our money. It's definitely there's a lot going on that can spin us, but it can also, really where we come off the spin, or where we come back to our senses from spinning around really fast, can be a moment like, yes, I get it. I see why I had to go through this to get to this point of clarity, because I do believe there's a lot of clarity coming, as I've said the past couple days. So yeah, appreciate you guys very much. Hope you have a great Monday. Lauren, Winnie, and I are going to be driving back down to SoCal, so we'll be commuting, see how that goes for us. And yeah, got the moon card in reverse today. We're coming off that full moon. I do think that our emotions can be very heightened, and they can definitely bring us down today, because we're not maybe getting exactly what we want, or getting, life to show up in a way that is brightening everything like we're looking for. It's almost like we got to keep grinding and not let our emotions pull us down deep into an abyss, as that moon is like setting in this card. It's falling, so we don't want to let emotions be our fall today. I think we have to find a sense of value and maturity and worth, to know that we're going to get through anything if it feels a little harsh. Today has a little bit of harsh energy, when really we're looking for, like, oh my gosh, yes, this is fun and passionate, and maybe a very romantic. But remember, we can over romanticize some things big time today also. Also, the sun's starting to build up its sextile over to Neptune, so we're not there yet, but that is definitely bringing a lot of romanticizing and dreaming, and today's almost like reality kind of stops us from that. The Hierophant reversed, 2 major arcana back to back, reversed. Yeah, it's definitely like the things that we've been so persistent and grounded and knowing is like, this is the way, this is, yep, I believe this is to be true. I think we need to be very observant of that, because a lot of that can change. And that's where our values can take weird turns, is because we're seeing like, oh wow, I really was attached to this, and I thought this was always going to show up this way, and all of a sudden, whatever that is in your life doesn't show up that way, and it can drag you down emotionally. We got to overcome these things and realize that we've been battle tested for all the moments leading up to this point that are showing us our true integrity, and how we can step up in a better, just more reliable place for ourselves. And the Page of Wands upright, thank goodness. I think there's a lot on the horizon and a lot to still be like, hell yes about, and a lot to look forward to, and to really realize that there's so much creative energy that, you know, is showing how open things are. We can almost come into an abyss and think things are so closed off or suppressed, when really there is so much to be curious for, because the creative aspects are going to start flowing big time. So yeah, be wide open to all the potential that's out there. I know today it has a vibe that can, you know, be like, I just want to have some fun and, you know, enjoy myself. What the heck? Why has it got to be like this? Sometimes we just have those moments, and how we mentally process information and what we do with that will be either to our uprise and our acceleration, or to our, you know, fall and detriment, and have us feel like we're descending, when really, whether we feel that way or not, we are ascending further. So hope you have a great day. I'm going to try my best dealing with traffic and commuting, and I look forward to getting back and getting in the office, pull up some charts. It is the final day of the reading sale too, so if you want to book a reading, NY 2023, I think that ends tonight. If it doesn't and anybody wants to book, I'll extend it one more day if it doesn't, but I'll double check later and it should be good. But last day of that sale, so takes $100 off. Appreciate you all. Have a beautiful Monday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.